Guilty.
Is this guilty plea freely and voluntarily given with full knowledge of the charges against you?
Yes.
You understand that you may only have a limited right to appeal this guilty plea conviction?
Yes.
You understand that you have 4 years from today for a felony charge and 12 months from today for a misdemeanor charge to file a habeas corpus petition challenging the voluntariness of this.
Yes.
Your Honor, as to Mr. Lindsay's criminal history, I see a June 2016 first offender conviction for theft by receiving stolen property and possession of a firearm, information of a felony. In addition, if this case would have gone to trial, the state would have expected its evidence to show on February 8th of 2023, officers were dispatched to 2215 Penelope Street Northwest here in Fulton County for a fight/disturbance call. Upon arrival, officers met with the victim in this case, Ms. Britoria, spelled earlier Williams. She stated that her ex-boyfriend, the defendant, climbed through her window. She didn't realize until she was opening the front door to let her son into the house that he had climbed through the window. Ms. Williams stated that once he got through the window, he had come to the front room and pushed her into a wall, leaving a hole. She stated that he grabbed her by the neck and dragged her to the couch and started choking her. Strangulation. Ms. Williams stated that she could not breathe and that the defendant had poured water on her to wake her up as she believes that she lost consciousness. She stated that when she got back consciousness, she told her youngest daughter to go to the next door neighbor's house and call the police. The victim further stated that once her daughter came back to inform her the police was called, she grabbed her belongings and left. She had pain in her neck area. We have spoken with the victim, Ms. Williams, in this case. She does not want to do a victim impact statement. We've spoken to her multiple times, including today.
She may be on the call,
She is.
which is fine, but just so you know, she's here. Okay.
She does not want to do a victim impact statement. She is agreeable to the resolution.
He actually is not single.
And that is all from the state.
Okay. All right. Thank you. Ms. Jackson, can you share the criminal history information you have, please?
Yes, Your Honor. He has 10 cycles. The last arrest was April the 6th, 2021, with the City of Atlanta Police Department for battery and obstruction of an officer. There was no disposition for that arrest. He does have one misdemeanor conviction. It was in 2018 out of Gwinnett County for obstruction of an officer. Nothing in addition, Your Honor.
Thank you. Ms. Williams, I heard what Ms. Beza said, which is that you don't want to make a victim impact statement. I just want to confirm that because you've waited patiently on this call for several hours now. Is there anything you want to add, or did Ms. Beza accurately represent your position on this?
Yeah, she can't get the phone to work. I can relate.
All right, I'm going to take that silence as assent. And I'm going to turn to you, Ms. Rios.
Yes, Your Honor. Mr. Lindsay is 31 years old. He's from Atlanta. He has one son that's 10 years old, and he has a child on the way. His fiance is here in support. She's pregnant, and they plan on moving to Tennessee to start over. We talk about how the transfer will work with probation, and he's ready to put all this behind him. And so I'm asking that to accept the plea as negotiated to the 5 years probation.
The son that Mr. Lindsay has is not with Ms. Williams, is it? No? Okay, so someone different. Some point in time, you and Ms. Williams were an item. You're not anymore. You were never an item?
We was together.
Okay. I mean, you were together. We use whatever words you want. You're not anymore. And now you're in a relationship with someone who is with whom you'll have another kid.
Yes.
Boy or girl, do you know yet?
She says a girl.
You think she's making it up?
It's a girl, Your Honor.
I trust you. Okay. Mr. Lindsay, do you have any questions about anything anyone has discussed?
No.
Okay. Anything you want to add?
Why is McBurney being nice to him? He's got one knocked up, and supposedly they're lovey-dovey and, starting a life together. And then recently he goes and chokes out his ex. I mean, dispense with the small talk.
No, I just want to get this behind me. I'm trying to start over. I was young. I was like 28, 29 when I think this happened.
Okay, that's not so young, but younger than you are now. Why moving to Tennessee?
I just want to start over. Like, I've been out here for almost 30 years. Like, I feel like it might be a little more better chances out there for me than down here.
Where Tennessee's a long state. Where in Tennessee would you go?
Gallatin, is it? I don't know how to say
I
it.
don't know.
I don't know how to say it, but she know.
Oh, Gatlin.
Yes.
Okay. Does the mother of your child have a connection to Gatlin, or what about that? That's just you looked at pictures of it and you say that's the place for us.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, good luck with that.
Good luck with that. He thinks he made it to the 11th grade, and he doesn't know because he can't pronounce the name of the town that he's moving to. Okay.
We got to talk about that some more. In a moment. But I do find, Mr. Lindsay, that there's a factual basis for your plea. Something happened in February of 23 where you lost it, and it may be that there was some back and forth, but you did some things you shouldn't, and you hurt and scared someone who at one point was important in your life. I also find that your plea is knowing and voluntary. That just means you've understood what we talked about. No one's forcing you to enter this plea. I'm sentencing you pursuant to the Probation Options Management Act, which means that while you're on probation, which you will be for a little while, if you have what we call a technical violation, you and probation can work through that. That doesn't have to come back to me. But if it's more serious than that, then we'll have to have a conversation about whatever happened while you were on probation.
I promise you won't have any problems out of me after this.
All right. If I had $1 for every time someone promised me that, I would be rich. But here I am, a public servant. Mr. Lindsay, do you have a weapons carry license?
No, sir.
You understand that this will be a conviction. It sounds like in the past you were able to take first offender and you did that well, and that kind of got wiped off your record. There's no wiping this off your record. It's a conviction. And so if you're in Gatlin looking for a job and they say, are you a convicted felon? If you're being honest, you're going to say, yes, I am. You understand that?
No, definitely.
Okay. I'm going to sentence you on count 1 to 5 years to serve 2 months with the balance probated. Count 2 is going to be 2 months to serve. And count 3 will be 5 years to serve 2 months with the balance probated. Those will all run concurrently with each other, meaning at the same time. You'll get credit for the time you serve, which is a little bit more than 2 months. So you're not at this point going back into custody. Special condition of probation number 1 is that you leave Ms. Williams alone. Sounds like you've been doing that for a while. But you don't call her, you don't write her, you don't post something on your page or gram or whatever it is saying, Victoria, I'm sorry, or I can't believe you did this to nothing. So if you have been doing well at that, continue to do well at that. Second, you'll need to complete what's called a family violence intervention program. Now, that's not just one class, so that's going to make this move a little complicated, but we'll talk about the move in a minute. But that's the other special condition of your probation is do these classes, and as long as you're on probation, you're not having any contact with Ms. Williams. Now, you are free to move to any state that will accept supervision of your probation. Your charges, while very serious to Ms. Williams and to maybe those who are following this, they're very transferable. So you're not going to run into a state, you're not a child molester. We're like, I don't want to supervise this guy. But it's still an administrative process. So it's not that you call your probation officer, hey, I'm moving to Gatlin or Gatlinburg, wherever you're going. There's actually paperwork you fill out, and Tennessee has to say, great, we'll take Mr. Lindsay. So don't go buy a house in Tennessee and move without coordinating it with probation.
Oh, as if he's about to buy a house.
Take care of the paperwork first, which means, and it doesn't sound like you were leaving tomorrow anyway.
I was trying to leave.
That's right.
Well, it ain't gonna be tomorrow because you got to get situated, and like I said, there's this administrative paperwork process, and it doesn't take forever, but it doesn't take one day, and it's not until probation here says you're good to go, you can be supervised in Tennessee. There's actually a handoff, so you know, oh, I report to the probation office in Chattanooga or wherever it would be, and then that supervision is handed over. Okay.
You probably can't pronounce that either.
And probation can tell you how it works. It's not meant to be a mystery, but they may hand you a stack of papers you have to fill out. You got to spend some money on it and whatnot to get the supervision transferred. Ms. Dilligard, Ms. Beza, can someone in my office sign the indictment on your behalf?
Yes, sir.
Did you have anything else you wanted to add to the conditions of probation?
Okay.
All right. Ms. Rios, can someone in my office sign the indictment for you?
Yes, sir.
And can we sign it for you, Mr. Lindsay? Sign the indictment indicating your guilty plea?
Yeah.
Yes? Okay. Then we are done, other than that you need to get reporting instructions from probation. What zip code do you stay at right now?
I think it's 30314.
30314. Do you stay with the young lady who's here?
No, I'm actually from place to place.
You're what?
I say I'm from place to place. That's why I was finna move.
Okay. Well, what's the most?
I don't have a stable home here.
No. Okay. What's the most stable address for you? Is that the 30314?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. That's Fulton County. So we're going to get you reporting instructions on the record, and then you're going to give whatever address is the best address for you off the record to Ms. Simpson, and you'll need to take it from there.
All right, so Mr. Lindsay, your reporting date will be February 11th. That is on a Tuesday, and you must report to 276 Memorial Drive, that is here in Atlanta. It is about 5 minutes from here. You must report at 8 a.m.
Right.
Will he get that in writing from you, or should Ms. Rios write that down?
Once I get your address.
All right.
Great. So that'll close out the record here. You're going to step outside with Ms. Simpson, give her your best contact information. Hopefully you have a phone number that's stable, even if you,
Yeah, I got a phone number.
even if your address isn't super stable. You want to give her the best one. Probably give her contact information for the mother of your child, because maybe that's more stable, all that kind of stuff. Don't miss your first date, because if
I don't know
you
about that.
miss that reporting date, they just bring me a warrant, and everyone's going to be a lot less interested in saying, go ahead to go to Tennessee if you aren't taking care of business with probation.
Right.
Okay? Are you working right now?
Just the problem, I'm trying to wait till I get down there. Like she actually just came back. She ain't been out here like 2 days.
She being the young lady sitting right here.
Yeah,
What's her last name?
Nelson.
Nelson. Ms. Nelson is from Tennessee?
No, she from New Orleans.
From New Orleans?
Yes, sir.
Okay, but you're not going to New Orleans, you're going to Tennessee.
Tennessee.
Okay, and you're saying Ms. Nelson just came from New
Yeah,
Orleans?
she been out here like a day and a half now, right now.
And within the 2 days, you guys had a kid?
No, we been dealing with each other. I used to work with her. I used to work with her at Burger King on MLK.
And then Ms. Nelson went to New Orleans
Yeah.
and has
Because, you know,
decided to come back for you.
Yeah, time got rough, and we just split ways.
Okay,
And she back now. I've supposed to been leaving, but I guess that's
it can take a little bit because your reporting date's not till February, so you obviously can't go anywhere before then. And then you can work with probation about getting things transferred to Tennessee.
Burger
Right.
King for the
All
win.
right? You do have something else.
Yes, Your Honor. I just received a message from my victim advocate, and Ms. Williams would like to say something to the court.
Okay. Ms. Williams, good afternoon. If you'll unmute, I'm gonna get you on the screen here, and I would like to hear from you if there's something you want to add. Whoops, it's still muted. I don't know what button you need to press, but we can't hear you from our end.
I think she said she can't hear.
Your Honor, she's saying, this is the victim advocate. She's saying that she's having a hard time unmuting herself.
Okay. So I don't know if she could call you or if she wants to, let me see. I can't.
If you can give me a second, let me speak with her. It seems as if she wants to speak to me to tell me something.
Okay,
So if you'll give me a moment, let me speak with her briefly.
sure.
Okay, thank you.
Happy to do that. You guys can have the conversation about getting his information. If you just do it back by Deputy Gordon, that way if Ms. Williams does pop back on, I want to make sure Mr. Lindsay's able to hear it. Okay. What are we doing next?
Quentin Rowland.
Oh, that's next, and that's Ms. Beza. All right.
All right, we're gonna do the next hearing too. They go back to him briefly, but we're gonna do this guy. You'll see.
My last date is after 5.
My question.
After
is,
5, I hope we don't go that long.
After what are the dates?
Which
All right.
defendant
I just
is
told my
Dama?
mother-in-law she has to get my son.
And check that beard.
Okay.
All right, we're gonna wait 1 second just in case. And who is it? Who is the victim advocate? Is that Sandra Jean-Louis? Okay.
Yes, sir, I am.
Hey, great.
I need less of my cases on one day. It's too much.
It's odd the way it's flowed because Ms. Wood has a bunch on that trial calendar. You have less. And then you've got all these, which would flow to the trial calendar, but I guess you're resolving a bunch now.
Yeah.
I do have what you would like for your honor to know.
Oh, okay.
For the record.
Hold on 1 sec. Let's get, hey, Mr. Lindsay.
Is she back here for a second?
Yeah, we just need Mr. Lindsay for 1 second so he can hear this. We're going to close out the record in Mr. Lindsay's case. So Ms. Williams was having technical difficulties, but she was able to relay to the victim advocate, who in turn has relayed it to the prosecutor, what Ms. Williams wanted to add.
Ms. Beza, would you please speak into the microphone, please?
Yes. Ms. Williams wanted the judge to know that she stated that Mr. Lindsay jumped on her last week. And so if your honor can emphasize that there's to be absolutely no contact, she is agreeable with the disposition, but she wanted to be emphasized that there should be no contact. She states that's why he has bruises or scratches to his face. I'm not here to, and that she wanted the honor to know.
Okay. I don't want to get in the middle of any situation, so I'll explain it real clearly. And you seem like a savvy guy, so I think you'll pick up on this. The quickest way to have all of your probation revoked and turned into prison time would be for you to have any contact with Ms. Williams. I'm not saying you did. I'm saying you better not from this moment forward. So if Ms. Williams is able to produce evidence, video, this or that occurred after 4:10 p.m. on the 28th, that you're in her face, you're talking to her on the phone or anything like that, that will end your probation in a way that will make Tennessee seem very far away. But if you aren't having any contact with her, easy peasy. So I don't want to get in the middle of what's going on. I want Ms. Williams to be able to move forward in her life peacefully. I would love for you and Ms. Nelson to start something new somewhere in Tennessee. So just understand that short of like robbing a bank, the quickest way to have all your probation turn into prison time would be to have any contact, jumping her, not jumping her, Ms. Williams. Understand? Yes?
Yes, Judge McBurney just dropped an easy peasy on this guy.
I figured you did. All right. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you, Ms. Williams, for being on the call. And we're going to turn to Mr. Rowland now. Sorry, Mr. Rowland, for the yo-yo up and back here.
This guy really does not want to be outdone in the stupid competition.
You ready?
Yep.
Okay. This is 24 SC 004-249, State versus Quentin Rowland. Mr. Rowland is here in court with Ms. Rios. Ms. Beza is the prosecutor on the case. Mr. Rowland, you're going to be put under oath in just a moment. Ms. Beza is going to ask you a bunch of questions about you and your case and your rights. Please answer those questions truthfully and let Ms. Rios or me know if you've got any questions of your own, okay? Thanks.
Can you please raise your right hand? Do you swear or affirm that the testimony you shall give in the matter currently before this court shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes.
You may put your hand down. Are you at this time taking or under the influence of any alcohol, drugs, or medicine?
No.
How old are you and how far have you gone in school?
12th grade, 49.
Are you able to read, write, and understand the English language?
Yes.
Do you understand that you are charged with the following offense, which is aggravated assault strangulation?
Yes.
Do you understand that you have the right to plead either guilty or not guilty to our negotiated plea, which is a reduction to battery, family violence, misdemeanor? And if you plead not guilty or remain silent, you may receive a jury trial.
Yes.
Have you had enough time to speak with your attorney about all the facts and circumstances known to you regarding the negotiated charge in this indictment, including any potential defenses?
Yes.
Do you need more time to discuss this with your attorney?
No.
Are you satisfied with her services?
Yes.
Counsel, do you waive formal reading of the indictment? Yes. Counsel, do you waive any and all defects in the indictment for purposes of this plea? Yes. Currently, the state is unaware of any outstanding warrants related to this charge. Do you or your attorney know of any outstanding warrants that are related to this charge? Has your attorney advised you of the minimum and maximum sentence for the charge that you are pleading to?
Yes.
As this is a misdemeanor, the minimum is 1 day and the maximum is 12 months.
Yes.
Do you understand that this is a negotiated plea of guilty, which means the state will recommend a sentence to the court of 6 months probation, plus while on probation, you are to do the Family Violence Intervention Program and to have no violent contact with the listed victim in this case, Elgia Rowland, ELGIA Rowland. You understand that that is a negotiated plea?
Yes. I'm sorry. What you say contact? What you mean?
No violent contact, which is illegal anyway. You can't
Okay.
make-
Okay. Yes.
But do you,
And just so you may already know this, I believe Ms. Rowland is on the call.
yes, Your Honor. she
Okay,
is.
great.
Do you understand that the court does not have to accept this negotiated plea, that the court can sentence you to the maximum on each charge, on the charge?
Yes.
Do you understand that if you are currently on probation or parole of any kind, your probation or parole may be revoked based on you entering a guilty plea?
Yes.
Do you understand that if you are placed on probation of any kind, you cannot violate any criminal laws of any governmental unit or any special conditions of probation without being subject to revocation for the balance of the sentence?
Yes.
Do you understand that you are not allowed to possess or use a firearm while on probation?
Yes.
Are you a United States citizen?
Yes.
Now, do you understand that there may be other adverse or unfavorable consequences as a result of this guilty plea conviction, just as there would be from a conviction following a trial? For example, your guilty plea conviction may affect the right to vote, right to hold public office, right to serve on a jury, right to obtain a passport, right to receive, possess, or transport a firearm, or the ability to obtain employment.
Yes.
Do you understand that you waive any and all defenses, including any mental health defenses, by entering a plea of guilty?
Yes.
You understand that if you went to trial, you would have the right to trial by jury, the right to see, hear, and confront witnesses called to testify against you, and the right to testify or to remain silent and not incriminate yourself.
Yes.
You understand that by pleading guilty, you are giving up the following rights: the right to trial by jury, the right to remain silent and not incriminate yourself, the right to confront witnesses against you, the right to assistance of counsel hired by you or to court-appointed counsel if you cannot afford an attorney at a trial of your case, the right to the presumption of innocence, the right to testify on your own behalf and to present other evidence, the right to subpoena witnesses and compel the production of evidence, the right to have the charges against you proved beyond a reasonable doubt, and the right to appeal if convicted of these charges at a trial.
Yes.
Has anyone forced you, threatened you, or promised you anything to get you to enter a guilty plea?
No.
How do you plead to the reduced charge of misdemeanor battery family violence?
Guilty under Alfred.
Okay. Are you pleading guilty because you have decided that it is in your best interest to do so?
Yes.
Are you aware that even if you do not admit to guilt, this is a plea of guilty and places you in the same position as if you were convicted by a jury at a trial?
Yes.
Is this guilty plea freely and voluntarily given with full knowledge of the charge against you?
Yes.
You understand that you may only have a limited right to appeal this guilty plea conviction?
Yes.
You understand that as this is a misdemeanor charge, you have 12 months from today to file a habeas corpus petition challenging the voluntariness of this plea?
Yes.
And if this case would have gone to trial, the state would have expected its evidence to show that on January 21st of 2022, at approximately 2:56 p.m., the defendant and his wife, Ms. Elgia Rowland, got into a verbal dispute. The defendant then the defendant then strangled his wife, Elgia Rowland, with his two hands, leaving red visible bruising around her neck and visible scratches on her left cheek. Officers were called and made notation of these injuries. Ms. Rowland is on the Zoom today. Ms. Rowland is agreeable and actually on board with this disposition that we're offering. And Ms. Rowland would like no violent contact as opposed to straight no contact. I do believe they're still together. My understanding that she does not want to make a victim impact statement, but that could change.
Okay, well, let me.
Exciting and new.
Let me ask, Ms. Rowland, is there anything you want to add, or has Ms. Beza accurately conveyed your sentiments about this situation? She's not looking like she's gonna unmute. Ms. Jean-Louis, any? Oh,
I'm sorry, I didn't know I had the mute on when I was talking. Farrell, calm down, sweetheart. I just want him to get the help he needs, just so he can be a better person for a better outcome in our relationship.
okay, thank you.
Yeah, 337.
Well, there you have it. Let me hear from Ms. Jackson, please.
He has 7 cycles. The last arrest was September the 30th, 2018 out of College Park, Georgia for simple battery. That charge was dismissed on February the 22nd, 2019. He does have prior felony convictions, one in 1996 for theft by receiving stolen property. And there was an additional one in 1996 for burglary. He has one misdemeanor sentence. He received first offender treatment in 1992 out of Cobb County for theft by taking. That case was sealed March the 10th, 1992. Nothing in addition, Your Honor.
Thank you. Ms. Rios.
Yes, Your Honor. Mr. Rowland is 49 years old. He lives with his wife and 7 children. Right now, he is a writer. He's working on his books about pyramids. So we're asking for you to accept the plea as negotiated. It seems like everyone is on board with the resolution.
Mr. Rowland.
You heard that right. He's a writer and he's working on his books about pyramids. If you have that on your bingo card, go ahead and check it off now.
Do you have 7 kids in your household?
Yes.
What's the age range? One of them is clearly very young.
Yes, from 4 months to 24.
So the adult children live in the household as well?
Yes,
How many bedrooms is the house?
4 bedrooms.
Okay. Any reason the adult children are still in the house?
Special needs.
How many are over 18?
3. One birthday was yesterday.
Just turned 18?
Yeah.
Okay. And all 3 are special needs, or the 24-year-old is?
The 24 and the 22.
Okay. 18-year-old is in high school?
Yes.
Where?
Tri-City High School.
Okay. What are the plans after high school?
Either military or college.
Okay, those are different choices. And you are a writer. That doesn't always put food on the table. Do you have a backup job as well, or you are a successful enough writer that it does put money on the table?
I do. I also work at.
Judge, how dare you? How dare you doubt his pyramid book writing career? I'm ashamed.
Like a convenience store.
What do you do there?
Cashier.
How many hours a week?
Probably about 24 hours.
Okay. And you're married?
Yes,
Does your wife work outside the home?
yes.
Doing what?
She works in the deli at Walmart.
And do your schedules align so that someone's always home with the littlest ones?
Yes.
Got it. Okay. Do you have anything you want to add or any questions about anything?
I just, as for the mercy of the court, we have resolved this. We've been together for a long time. And I got a new baby girl. It's my first girl. And, I just want to spoil my girl.
Is 7 the magic number, or is there going to be 8 and 9 and 10?
Well, it's 8 total, but 7's at the house.
Okay.
But I have an outside adult, from a
Oh,
previous
sweet Jesus,
relationship.
they're
Okay,
all right.
but for you and Ms. Rowland, is 7 where we're stopping, or?
Yes, most definitely. I have my girl.
Okay, so it's just pushing to get the girl. All right, well, I find there's a factual basis for your plea. In January, 2 years ago, we're almost at the 2-year anniversary in 3 days of whatever went wrong. You treated your wife in the wrong way in all sorts of ways, and that's something that needs to not happen again. Doesn't mean you guys can't argue about things. You've got 7 kids in the house. You're going to argue about things. You need to govern yourself accordingly, and if you feel like you're getting hot about something, you walk away or do something other than what happened in January of 2022. I find that your plea is knowing and voluntary. And I will follow the negotiated resolution and sentence you to 6 months probation with the lone count of your indictment being reduced to family violence battery. You should know, and Ms. Rios probably already told you that if you ever pick up another family violence battery, it's a felony. You get 1 misdemeanor. Doesn't even have to be the same victim. So if you put your hands the wrong way on your 24-year-old, that is a member of your household, that's family violence battery, that will be a felony. And you've already used first offender, so that'll complicate things. It's just a reason to be particularly thoughtful about how you manage your familial relationships. You have a crowded house, 4 bedrooms and 9 people. That's not good math. So it's going to be complicated, and I hope you're thoughtful about it. 2 special conditions of your probation. Number 1, the most important one, is no violent contact with Ms. Rowland. You can be around her. Obviously, she's your wife and you live in the same household, but that contact needs to be peaceful contact that she wants, not contact that you inflict on her. And second, you need to complete a family violence intervention program. And that's not 1 class, it's a series of classes. In fact, 6 months is going to be pretty tight if that's all you have for probation. So I'm going to require that you enroll in that family violence intervention program within the first month of your probation so that you've got a chance of wrapping it up before your probation is over.
You need to wrap
Ms.
it up.
Rios, can someone in my office sign the indictment for you?
Yes.
Ms. Beza?
Yes, Your Honor.
And Mr. Rowland, can someone in my office sign the indictment on your behalf indicating your misdemeanor plea?
Yes.
We'll do that. Anything else, Ms. Beza?
No, Your Honor.
Ms. Rios?
No, Your Honor.
All right, are you done with the book on pyramids, or you're working on the book on pyramids?
Almost done. I have the whole concept down. So it's something that's never been out there before.
Good. Well, good luck with that. Hope it works out.
Yeah. Good luck with that.
You will get reporting instructions probably through Ms. Rios. That may have been why you were writing that stuff down, so she knew how to contact you. But misdemeanor probation is run by a different organization than the folks here from DCS. Okay?
Okay.
Any questions?
Nope.
Okay.
I appreciate it.
Text you their contact information, but I have.
Good luck, Ms. Rowland, with everything.
Okay.
You put the number? What's the record
Yeah,
number?
I don't forgot her.
Okay, go
last
get it and then just leave it on my desk or give it to the deputy.
Okay.
Just go, take the pen, write it down, and the phone number.
All right, Ms. Rios, what's next? You need a break?
No, we don't need a break. I'm gonna go back and we're going to figure out what is going right.
I want to dumber down the ticket. Like I want to fight that.
All right. That's what I had. Sorry for all the technical difficulties. It was a rough day for finding court appearances, but when the two parts that got me is when that guy didn't know where he was going, and he's just hooking up with some chick from Burger King. They're moving to a place neither one of them has any connection to that he can't pronounce. And then the next guy comes rolling in. He has 8 kids. And his attorney very proudly announces that he's working on a book on pyramids. Meanwhile, we get the Boy Scout leader, Judge, who's trying to be nice and like ask him follow-up questions about it as if anyone believes it. Oh my God. I can't take it. I've missed McBurney. He's I don't know. He's such a steady Eddie, you know? He's just over there just trying to be nice to everybody, doing this thing. I think he's a good judge. He is completely detached from reality. He uncorked the phrase easy peasy on the first defendant and familial situation on the second defendant. I'm like, Judge, were you in this conversation? Can you kind of calibrate to what you're dealing with? That language isn't going to work. Oh, but he's fun. Ultimately, he's charming. Oh, good stuff. There we go. The dumbest trip ever on the Love Boat. I'll find my thumbnail and put it back up. Thank you all for those of you who suffered through the first one. Apparently, I had static. I don't know what happens. But that was a lot of fun. Thanks for coming out. I'll see y'all soon.